Are you okay? There was like a groundhog. We went to the courthouse yesterday to set up for the motion hearing, but it's funny. It's funny. Like, if you know just a few people, they don't really want to like visit with you at court. I mean, it's not like going out to lunch, right? It's like, hey, could you just come with us to court for about an hour? We can watch my wife get like I don't know what, or like this whatever. Burning up the baby, that's for sure. The sun is crazy. I'm not messing around. Like, it literally felt like a fire, and I'm having to like pull it in and just kind of get it a little shady. Like, it was bad. I was like, we were driving from the court, you know what I mean, and then we were bad and got a pizza at Hungry Howie's, and I was like, she's got her gland. We were doing I love the song. If you're having like a bad day and you just feel defeated and like you could never rise up to nothing, I don't know what to say, is you gotta go to this guy, and I want to make him super, super famous. I think he's a little famous, but like something went haywire when he did this song. And the song like rocks the house. It's called Warpath Drexus, I believe. I found him around Easter time or earlier. D-R-E-X, excuse me. D-R-E, don't just forget about this, like, I have this other thing going on. Okay, there it is here. And the Frank's but he's okay, but he's not, I'm gonna say, like, he's alright. I appreciate his ingenuity. Jungo Jerry only really had about one song or so. I used to want to be, like, a one-hit wonder and then get the money and then help, like, a bunch of situations with homeless and stuff. The establishment against the people, and then I'm thinking, if I had to hear that song like all the time, like that's the only song. So see, the Lord does do like a lot of social things. This is broken, and I don't know why. It wasn't this broke before. So I'm just trying to get the little baby in the garage. She's a cutie. She's getting old though. This is a barricade for the pups, because they'll just leap up in the front seat. She's a good girl. She's gotten us out of a lot of things, you know. I wanted to go show you flowers and stuff, but the biggest story is the groundhog morning, when there was literally just two toads that were like standing by the garage, like looking out, like as if they were toad guards, and I was like, that's like the cutest thing I could ever video, is two toads looking towards the house. Like they're guards, but they're super tiny. And just as I was like, do I want to get my camera? Do I not want to get my camera? And I'm like, I gotta do this. I'm like, this is too cute. And they're like, we're the toads and we're guarding the garage. And it's hilarious because the toads are... And then all of a sudden, the dogs are nuts. And it's a groundhog. He decided to go under the water tanks. And it turned into a real disaster. Lots of blood on Poe's one leg. He got his face too. Apparently Poe's never fought a groundhog. Hip was, I hate to say, useless. I mean, we do know that you're too chubby, and it's alarming before the moons, even if my thingy doesn't come, is that I get so bloated now, it was super scary and upsetting. I've seen my share of groundhog events. I was raised out in like a country setting. Different dogs maneuvers and stuff. Poe fights to the death. But I don't think he was as skilled. This was a littler guy. He was little but fierce, and I'm kind of concerned about that. I know groundhogs can be really aggressive, but this seemed different. He was jumping and hopping and leaping, and he got Poe's face a little bit. Definitely the arm. I think he got his teeth in the arm. Or that was some other thing that punctured him. It could have been, I don't know if it would have been part of the fence. It could have been the fence. But the way it was bleeding and stuff, and we got all that settled down. I gave him medicine and did the poultice to keep, and I did pull out the antibiotic. I don't normally do that, but now I've done the medicine. They took internal medicine. But the Mini Cooper's frying up. It's frying. I mean, I'm like, it was like, if I put my hand on the hood, it was like you could burn your hand. I probably did. So then I'm like, Lord, are you kidding me? And it was just when John went to bed, right? And I got up, but I was like, I could use like a 2-hour break with the Lord. But I'll let the dogs out real quick. And then the toads was funny. And then it was just full Mannheim. And I've never in my life seen a groundhog fight like that. No, I haven't. But he knew he couldn't run out Poe. And then when my spirit, like yesterday or whatever, it was like, something's going to happen with the dogs. You guys have to stay near the house. They were tracking John. He didn't have a seatbelt on. We broke the law. Woohoo. Oh, seatbelt. Oh. And it's $65 down the toilet. And they're just, saying, hey, we own this environment. We own this realm. This isn't our first rodeo. So then I'm like, you know what? Something's going to happen with the dogs. I want to take them out on a fun ride or whatever. But the full moon's this week. My son's birthday's like right around the minute of the corner here. And I'm not going to say specifics, but I'm like, and then I woke up today and this groundhog madness went on for quite some time. I thought Poe was hurt more than he was, but he wasn't. He is. No, he is. He is. And he is not happy. And he wants the groundhog. He's like, I ain't done with the groundhog. Evil oppression, chapter 4 of Ecclesiastes. So I returned and considered all the oppressions that are done under the sun, and behold, the tears of such as were oppressed, and they had no comforter. And on the side of their oppressors there was power, but they had no comforter. Wherefore I praise the dead which are already dead more than the living which are yet alive. Yet better is he than both they which hath not yet been, who have not seen the evil work that is done under the sun. And I had this song, but I can't do it now because now I've forgotten it. It was like, this will never end, or like, this realm will never end. But it was, I don't know, I have to build on it now. I don't remember now, but we're going to try John 5 a little more. Poe is not out of the dark. Christ heals the impotent man. Christ breaks the Sabbath. Equality with God and nature. But Jesus answered them, my Father worketh hitherto, and I work. Therefore the Jews sought the more to kill him, because he not only had broken the Sabbath, but said also that God was his Father, making himself equal with God. Look, I don't like to give out a lot of my natural remedies because it gets me labeled as something more than I already am. Is even diatomaceous clay, food grade, okay? Because you can do both. But there's also the ones that you don't want to necessarily do internally, is these other clays. I'm forgetting them right now, but you can find them at a health food store. And let me tell you what, if you're in a bind and you at least got water and you can make a poultice, a clay, like a watery clay, but not too water, and you can put it on the wound or something. If it's a really bad wound, just stack up the clay. Just stack up the clay, like stack up the clay like that much if you can. If you can wrap it lightly with some kind of cloth or cotton, you can save yourself so many vet bills and so many bull craps that go on with this crap. Now, I wanted to look up the groundhog, but from what I witnessed, I'm going to say the badger and the bear. I mean, I got a groundhog out of here last year. I don't think this is the same one. I don't want to say it was planted because that just goes along with the narrative, but we're going to go with badger and bear because they're back to back. Perseverance, dig in and see it through to completion. Never give up with the Lord. That's what that means. Bear, boundaries, stand your ground. This is against a lot of teachings with the TIs. Some TIs just are bowing down. They're bowing down. They're hiding out. They're hiding, and some of them do have to hide out, and some do have to escape and hide out. And I wanted to hide out and escape, but I don't know why that did that. I didn't knock it down. I was hiding out and avoiding things for a long time. They would seek me out. They would just seek me out. Okay, the bear. Boundaries stand around for you to be your complete self with the Lord. And this was protection, creativity, solitude, and healing. There's no groundhog reading in this, but I'm going to go with badger because I know groundhogs can be nasty. I've seen nasty groundhogs, but not like this. Not like this. This was digging to see it through to completion. The badger, self-reliance, determination, assertiveness, and willingness. And you can go and look up groundhog and get that figured out. And so we read a little bit. Posed better than I thought. It was a lot of blood on his leg. I immediately treated it with hydrogen peroxide. Made sure nothing's like fully broke. There might be a fracture or something. But he's more like he literally is more like a junkyard dog. Those breeds, it would take a lot to really break a bone. I'm not saying he didn't break a bone because he was not happy. And so that's our Friday. And then he was doing sawing next door with a really weird noise and that horrible, cheesy, horrible music, and cutting down trees to expose the ghetto houses, which had me kind of weirded out. And so what I'm thinking is they do have something there to watch if we're up or not, because they're so paranoid. And that the old lady here before would have been paranoid and they would have been watching or something. It's some kind of old thing, because I would think that he would want to cover up the ghetto houses and not have the view over here. And you say, well, he was just running a saw. Okay, have you ever run an electric saw? Do you go like this? You go... No, you don't. You don't. Nobody does that. Nobody... You go... And then you do your work. You know what I mean? You go... With like the worst, cheesy, horrible country music. Like from like not. So I put on old 60s. You're like, well, you just can't grow up either. Well, can I not? Like, he all of a sudden has cut down a bunch of trees before court. What we have to pray is that he goes down there today and tries to cancel it. Because he's a lying, evil person. And this is disgusting. This is the third or fourth or fifth ring of this with people. Lying and reporting for over 16 years or more. Plus my earlier years. Plus the prior years. All to protect a form of human trafficking. And here we are. Now, we turn the light around. It's one of my pieces, but it's not the best. But I've seen some art recently, and I'm like, this could really be something compared to some stuff I've seen. In New York City. No. The matchmaking situation. I'm going to have to retire. I'm not good at it no more. I was going to try to set Tyler Fisher, the new and up and rising comedian, up with this Britain or British or London-ish lady, but she's about my age, and we can't do that. He wants children and stuff, I think. And she has a boyfriend. She's vegetarian. And I don't know if that's going to work. And he might be a vegetarian, too. The thing is that I really thought I found the right one again. I don't know if this is the first. I know this is the first one I've I've decided, I'm like, I'm going to set this up. I'm going to set this up. But she's living with her boyfriend, and she's some kind of animal activist and a vegetarian. And I'm kind of concerned about that now. And not that those are bad things. And maybe it'll work. Maybe she's not happy. But I don't want to be a homewrecker, and I don't want to participate in any kind of homewrecking situation. Plus, she's like 11 years older than Tyler, and that's a hard situation. You know what I mean? It's not, I don't recommend it. That's coming from experience here with us. Is we met in a band. He thought I was younger. I thought he was older. We were in a real mess. It was heartbreaking for several months on end. He wanted to marry me after he got turned 21, and it's really weird sounding, and it's just, I don't want to talk about it anymore because it makes me seem like a weirdo too. We went through a lot of mourning, and we broke up, and it was just like we were the bestest of friends. And we really thought Jesus wanted us to rock the house. We really thought Jesus wanted us to rock the house and change some things. We're both constitutionals. We both knew the police state was taking over. We just had all of these same things with the Lord, and we were like, this is going to work. But really all that happened was the evils like have hurt us. But then we have things like this. We used to have a K car and a 1998 Buick LeSabre, but that's not bad. That's not bad. What I'm saying is the Lord moved us up. We don't like to get new cars all the time. This is our baby. We're going to save her as long as we can. And then we got our castle. Our castle, this old little crazy house. But then the thugs wouldn't stop again. Now, the Lord knows what he's doing. None of us know what we're doing. And he knows our heart. And I think if we just think of those three things, God knows what he's doing. We don't. And Jesus knows our hearts. That's like 3 bullet points. I think if we could just focus on those and to call in authorities, even if it hurts you. I know this sounds demented or whatever. We have to call corruption in, do you understand? Or we're not going to save America. You cannot shut up. You cannot shut up. Do you hear me? You can't shut up. You can't go along with this. You cannot go along with this. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? But you better be on the right track of what you're not shutting up about. And that's where we need to work on. Okay, love you.